What's cracking with your snack and snacker stars? It's me, the BRE, the man in the backwards hat, Brandon from the sAs, the Snack Food Appreciation Society. And this week I am returning to an Alexandria institution which has just returned from the dead, so to speak. It's risen from the ashes, almost quite literally like a phoenix. That's Al's Steakhouse on Mount Vernon Avenue. I'll be right back right after this to see if the new ownership holds true to the legend. You are looking live at Al's Steakhouse and Alexandria Institution on Mount Vernon Avenue in Alexandria, Virginia. Al's has been around since 1955, but there's a long story to that. I'm right next to a Walgreens, and then there's a topiary type place or something right there. I'm not really sure what that is, but one thing's for certain, even with new ownership, you will always see the friendly plain white wrapper on an Al's cheesesteak. I also got an order of cheese balls, but the cheesesteak is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, I reviewed Al's for the first time about 2 years back, and that was just slightly before they closed due to the death of their owner. And then they reopened last year, but the day that they reopened, the place caught on fire. 3-alarm fire, in fact. And now they just reopened a couple of weeks back, and we're here to see what's the same, what's different, and what's good at Al's Steakhouse. There you go. Gives you an idea of what we're talking about. All right, let me go ahead and open up this bad boy, and we'll show it to you right now on OTR. Hey, it's double wrapped. In fact, it's wrapped in foil. So let's see if we can't dig it out of there. Looking kind of messy so far. And what you see here is the new version of the Roman cheese, which is a cheesesteak with provolone cheese. It's also got, in this particular case, lettuce, tomato, and grilled onions. But this thing is really, really messy. It doesn't even appear to have been sliced in the middle, so that's going to make it even harder to operate with here. And I'm kind of scared, you know what I'm saying? It smells good, but it doesn't look like it was very professionally built, in my opinion. So, but we'll see what happens. Let me go ahead and open up those cheese balls, too, and we'll take a look at those. And those are the cheese balls. They look like little balls of fried cheese. That sounds about right. They're called Al's cheese balls, I guess, in, honor of Al, who was the original owner, even though the fella that owned it for many, many years from the 60s on, his name was John, and then he passed away a couple years ago. Anyway, show you both items there. $9 for that cheesesteak. That's an 8-inch. They also have a 12-inch. They used to come in 12-inch and 24, if I'm not mistaken, so there's a change for you right there. $3 for the cheese balls, and it all smells very good. Let's see if I can't put my hands around this thing and actually review this cheesesteak for you right after this on OTR. Alright gang, back here at Al's Steakhouse for OTR to take a taste of their Roman cheese, which I believe is their most famous and popular sandwich. Let me show you this next to my noggin the way I always do. Stuff falling all over the place, making it a little more difficult, but there you see it. It's pretty freaking big, even if it is only an 8-inch, and to me it actually looks bigger than that. So maybe they're changing things, maybe they're working things out with their sizes and their prices and so forth, but all I know is I paid $9 for this one. Alright guys, I wish it were cut in half. It would make it a little bit easier, but I'm going to go ahead and take a bite. Alright gang, I cannot say anything bad about that particular cheesesteak. As you can see, it's really, really sunny out here, causing all kinds of unfortunate shadowing and so forth. But that's okay. That's why I got sunglasses for. I hope it's not hurting your eyes. The bread is very, very soft. I almost feel like it should be a little more chewy. Maybe they should let it sit around a little longer. I don't know, something like that. But it's really, really soft. And it tastes like fairly basic sub-roll bread. Nothing extremely special there. But there's plenty of meat in there. It's plenty juicy. It's cooked all right, but there's not like a char to it. Sometimes you get a little bit of that char along the edges of the steak. I like it like that, and I don't really get that here. But it tastes very, very good. Provolone cheese is nice and melty. The grilled onions could have used a little bit longer on the grill, or perhaps on a hotter grill. I'm not really sure, but they weren't quite grilled all the way through. They were still a little bit on the raw side. Besides that, the lettuce and tomato were fresh and juicy and tasty, and that was very good too. I'm going to go ahead and put all of this together and give it a decent rating, and I might have to come back and rate it again as they, get their bearings underneath them here, as they, continue with their new venture, which is a venture that's been going on here in Alexandria for years. I'm going to go ahead and give that a 3/4 thumbs up. Pretty darn good. Room for improvement. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, guys, time to check out Al's Cheese Balls, something I've definitely never had throughout the years. One thing I would say is they could use to perhaps have something to dip these in, just looking at them right away. But there you go, $3 for about 10 of them. So, okay. Let me go ahead and pop it in my mouth and let you know what I think. I was expecting a white cheese or perhaps a provolone in there, but no, it's a yellow cheese, lending its flavor more towards American than it is cheddar because it's very, very mild. And I tasted it as soon as I put it in my mouth. So it's also, the outside is very cheesy tasting, and it gives you that kind of burnt cheese or browned, very, very close to burnt cheese taste. That's really good, you know what I'm saying? I like that flavor a lot. Nice and melty, yet still kind of chewy on the inside. I like these a lot. For $3 is a little bit much. Maybe give you a few more of these or charge a little bit less. I'm not really sure, but either way, it's pretty darn good. And I'm giving this a 7/8 of a thumbs up here today at Al's Steakhouse on Mount Vernon Avenue in Alexandria. Check them out on Facebook if you get a chance, and let them know what you think about it if you've had it before. Also, let me know down in the comments. Speaking of Facebook, you can join our Facebook group by clicking on the link down below in the description. Hundreds of the coolest people in the world are in our group, and you should be too, so why aren't you? Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BrandonReichSAS. When you do that, make sure you use the hashtag Snack Society. That way we know what you're eating, and you know what we're eating too. So, like, comment, share, subscribe. In the meantime, in between time, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.